you know it's going to be a great video when we start off with Karma in the chat. Post-race chat is always a great place to hang out and figure out what happened in the race. And we've got four fantastic races for you here. They are compressed down to be all killer, no filler. And we're going to start off with this first one, Sardinia Road Track A. We're in Group 3 cars, soft tyres, medium tyres available, and we're running as reserve driver, and we really need to find some form. It's been a little while since we've had some success in GT Sport, but we're going to start the race now. We're going to start on the medium tyres, the slower of the two tyres, and hopefully go for a big undercut. We're starting in 6th position. We've also got Zafra here running in 4th position right now. Shout out to Zafra. We had some great races this night. He has his own YouTube channel, so go and check out Zafra991. And if you are new around here, then consider subscribing. If you enjoy this video, hit that like button, all that good stuff that helps the YouTube algorithm promote my channel and promote these great races. So far we've not really had a great start. We're a little bit off the pace, wide on that corner there, and we just need to get ourselves dialed in. We're in the Corvette. The Corvette is a good race car. It doesn't have the outright lap pace of the McLaren F1, but it is slightly better on its tyres, which should allow us the opportunity to do a bit more of an early pit stop for them soft tyre switch over and getting that undercut. So it looks like we've got a gap to the drivers behind and a lot of squabbling ahead now. So that orange McLaren F1 is going to get a bit wild on corner exit. They're going to go 2 by 2 through, side by side through this difficult section. It's like, are they going to continue to run side by side? Looks like they are. This is dangerous stuff, but it's really holding us up now. So are we going to go side by side into the braking zone, into the final significant corner in the lap? We're going to get on brakes a little bit early and not go for that move. But that orange McLaren's having a nightmare. He's got a bit sideways on the corner exit, but we managed to, I think we helped him to stay straight there. So we've gained a position from that, but it's given us a poor exit onto the main straight now, and we don't really have the slipstream from the cars ahead. There is a car side by side with us now. Driving in the cockpit view, I've mapped the buttons now to do glance left and glance right, trying to add a bit of that realism to GT Sport. Someone's going to try and go around the outside of us into turn 1. We're going to defend that quite nicely, but it's going to be compromised corner exit. I think this McLaren, is he going to be on the softer tyre than we are? He seems to have a lot of pace compared to we do, and he's going to look to the inside once again into the S-bend here. We're going to hang it around the outside and stay in front in this particular moment, and we are still in front of that Italian driver. Side by side for the drivers ahead now. We're going to get back on board, get back in car with me, and we're going to try and get a good exit into this next straight. It's what we need to do, and we've just been bumped to the inside. I think someone snuck to the inside. Didn't quite see that one coming. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest, but that McLaren seems to have much better grip than we do. I'm sure he's got to be on the soft tyres to start this race. He's going to sneak to the inside again. There's not a great deal we can do there. He just has that McLaren F1, which has monster top speed, and we're going to have to let that position go, guys. Hopefully we're going to fight that one back as the race progresses, but we're kind of shuffling down the order a little bit. Not ideal as the strategy plays out, but half expected. Certainly if the drivers around us are on the soft tyres, and my suspicion is that a couple of these drivers, certainly that Italian driver ahead of us, is on the soft tyres. Let's see how that one plays out. So we're going to get into the braking zone for the final significant corner of the lap, and we're going to get slipstream now. So this is going to be great for us to try and break away from the cars behind, which is important. We need to not be shuffling back down to the... So no, someone has tagged onto the back of us on the exit of the final corner. We ran wide there, a pretty shocking corner for us, and we've just been mugged off, absolutely mugged off down the straight there by another McLaren F1, back to 7th position now. So we are driving backwards, but we almost rear-ended that McLaren. One thing to note, guys, the McLaren brakes very early. The brakes aren't very good on that McLaren, and quite a few times this night I got caught out on the brakes. So be very cautious of those McLarens getting early on the brakes. It certainly is unexpected sometimes. And let's try and gather up this race now. What we're going to do, I think we're going to pit at the end of this lap, get a good undercut on the other drivers around us that don't have the advantage of the good tyre preservation of this Corvette. While we've got a minute, I'm going to cruise down this straight following this McLaren F1. Check out the description below for the Race Asylum Discord. Join the Race Asylum Discord. That will help you get faster in GT Sport. Lots of fast drivers in there. They will help to improve your techniques, certainly when it comes to tuning as well, which will be very important for GT7. So check out the Race Asylum Discord in the link below. And that McLaren's got an absolutely shocking exit from the corner there, and we are right on the back door of that McLaren, and I feel like we're actually, I think we're losing time. It's difficult really. I think he's got faster tyres than we have, and it's just back off there, almost lost the back end. Just back off there. Being in the cockpit view, when you're right behind a driver or a car, it just fills your screen. You can barely find any reference points. So I feel like we can make a huge undercut here. We're a little bit stuck from the cars ahead, so we're going to jam into the pits, I think, now. So I'm just going to position our car to fire it into the pit lane. The pit lane is a huge loss. I think it's 20 seconds of track time lost with the tyre change. We're going to put the soft tyres on now, and they're going to take them to the end of the race. It's important we get into clear air, which I think we will do. So that's looking good now. It's down to us to just get our head down and put some solid laps in and try and get that undercut done. Skipping forwards now, lap number 5, we're going to pass Zafra on the undercut, so that's worked out for us. He was running in the top 3, top 4, so that works out really well for us. Skipping forwards, one more lap, we're going to pass another car in the pit, so that undercut has worked perfectly for us. We are up to 6th position now, so we are probably where we need to be. A few cars ahead may pit, but this Austrian driver, I don't know if he's pitted or not, to be honest, and looking at the closing speed, I think he might even be on the medium tyres. He might have already pitted from the front and on the medium tyres, and he's wide there, so certainly whatever tyres he's got on that car, he doesn't seem to have the grip he needs. It's going to be critical for us to it's go purple in the first sector now, so these tyres are working fantastic for us. We need to clear this guy as quickly as possible to keep our race alive. Make the most of these tyres while they work, and then towards the end of the race, lap 2 or 3 laps to go, we'll be starting to suffer on our tyres. So we're going to look to the inside, see if we can get a big dive bomb. That's not going to work out for us. It's still pretty safe on the brakes, but we've caught up a huge amount, so we have a huge pace difference on this driver. We just need to find a way through now, as we're still purple in this lap time. Probably helped with a bit of slipstream there, but just following drivers through that dog leg to the left is difficult. It's probably the hardest corner on this track, but we should get a really good drive out of the corner here, firmly in the slipstream, that McLaren F1. We don't have the top speed advantage, but we do have the slipstream, so that McLaren is absolute monster in a straight line. But let's see what we can do by the time we come to the end of the straight. So other people are in the pits now. I don't know if we're going to jump them during this pit stop phase. It looks like we might do, actually. So we're up more position to the outside into turn 1, and we're going to try and sweep it around the outside. We're going to leave a bit of space on the inside. Always leave the racing room for your drivers. He's left some room on the outside. Great driving from the Austrian driver. Again, leaving space, both respecting each other. Superb driving, but we do have the tyre advantage and the pace advantage, but can we make it work? And that's no for this time. A successful defence there from the Austrian driver, and importantly in the background you see Zafra and the Italian driver. They're battling, but they're also closing in. They pitted a few laps later than we did, so their tyres will be much fresher than ours. Now we need to get this move done on the Austrian driver. We do have a great run down the straight now in the slipstream, but it's not a straight. It meanders left, right, and gaps can appear and disappear. We want to go to the inside now. That's not going to work out. We're going to get forced to the outside, and we're going to have to get on the brakes now, try and outbrake him into this zone here. That's not worked out, but has he gone deep? I think he's gone deep. We're going to switch back and make that move happen. So we've made the tyre advantage work for us there. Sent him deep and narrow on the braking zone and sent him wide and got the switch back. So now what we need to do is just make some good lap times to try and defer the closing, and it did happen. Zafra closed right into us now, guys. Running in 3rd position now. We've got a podium on the cards here. Zafra is running absolutely fantastically. That late pit stop with his McLaren and the slightly better tyres has really closed in that gap, so keep an eye on that gap as this lap progresses, because this is a defensive drive now. We're just kind of missing the apexes now. Look at the tyre indicators, missing the apex once again. Our tyres are absolutely ruined. Quick glance back, and Zafra, he's coming. He's got that McLaren F1, so he's going to have a huge top speed advantage and the slipstream and the tyre advantage, and we're going to try and hold on to this one down this straight here. I think this is the last of the significant braking zones where he can probably send a move with that McLaren. He's just there. He's there. Am I going to go defensive? he's not close enough to go defensive. So we're going to go wide. We're going to get on the brakes and sweep into this corner here, and a little lock up from somebody. I think we all went a little wide there, so that's pretty much neutral. But he's closing in so much that McLaren is honing me down. Zafra did an absolutely fantastic job in this race, and this is the difficult dogleg left-hander, and I'm kind of slow through there. Zafra's right on the back door, but he's not got enough to put a move into the final significant corner. And we are wide. We missed the apex, but we're going to get a drive out the corner. Three-way battle to the line. Will my Corvette have the legs to get across the line? Zafra's got the slipstream. How far down the track is the start-finish line? We can't do anything more. We're flat out. We're just going to look to the right-hand side. There's the McLaren to the line, and we're going to hold it off by 0.01 of a second. What a fantastic race it was. Huge shout out to Zafra991. Check him out on YouTube if you haven't already. We're going to get straight into another race straight away, guys. We're starting a little bit further down the order. Zafra is starting in third position, so he's got a bit of an advantage for this race. And straight away we're going to get the tyres warmed up. Same strategy for us in this race, but perhaps we might go for an even more aggressive undercut. So into turn one, everyone flows through there quite nicely. The McLaren gets wild on corner exit, absolutely all over the place, and that's going to really damage us with our... we run onto the grass, a little bit onto the grass there, not ideal. And we're going to... someone sent it. Wazim just sent it there. And GTR, it's an interesting car. Now, the McLaren's made another error, and we're just being held up by this McLaren driver. And in our rear view mirror, you see Sveni there, who did play a role in the karma incident, which we touched on earlier in the video. So we'll see how this one plays out. But we have the slipstream of the McLaren now. We're going to go to the outside in the braking zone. Is that going to work out for us? It's not really. We're not really got anywhere to go. We're going to get on the brakes reasonably safely and get the car stopped. So wide from a driver there. Another McLaren's wide. It's absolutely kicking off in this race, and we're getting mugged off. We're being far too cautious. And just losing positions, and I don't think they've got the tyre advantage either. I think we're just being too cautious. So we're down to 10th position, but it is all kicking off ahead. They're almost going 4 wide into the final corner, and let's just see what's going on. So the McLaren, once again, we're tripping over that Italian McLaren, and I think this just made up the mind for me, is that I'm currently racing in an absolute gaggle of cars, losing so much time. Let's just go for a mega undercut, send it to the pits in lap 1. Skipping forward now, we're on lap number 4, and we've produced some good lap times so far, and we've caught to the back of Alex, so he was also involved in the karma controversy. So let's see how that one plays out. Currently got the hazards on, not entirely sure why that is, but we're just going to look to try and make a move on Alex as we're going to go through these S-bend corners. These are really good corners to drive, guys. Just a little clip of the curb, blending onto the throttle on corner exits. It's so good fun. I'm going to get onto the brakes into the... Alex has run very wide there. He must have missed his braking point. He's going to go wall riding around the outside and lose a ton of time there. So that's a huge mistake for Alex. Skipping forwards now, lap number 6. We're closing into the back of the Swiss driver, and we do have a pace advantage, I think. So we're looking to get this driver cleared. We're up to 5th position now with our undercuts, but it looks to the right hand side. Alex is going to try and put a move around the outside of us into this corner where he went wall riding last time. We're going to keep it narrow to give him space on the outside, and that's going to work out side by side there, glancing to the right, and a drag race down. Did he put me in the wall then? I don't know. I feel like I've got some assistance to connect with the wall then, but who knows. And looks like we get mugged off again on the brakes now. So Alex versus Sveni. Is this the start of the controversy that we touched on earlier in the video? And I think my tyres are going, guys. I feel like I'm losing pace with the drivers behind. The undercut I did was far too aggressive. But they're going to go... Alex is going to get a huge error on the exit of that corner there. Sveni is not going to send it. Or they're going to go side by side on the corner exit. Sveni's going to make an excellent move there on Alex as they exit that corner. But we're going to be in the slipstream of Alex into the main straight now. Interestingly, both those drivers using the Aston Martin. I've not tried that car actually, but I'm favouring the Corvette so far. So it looks like side by side into turn 1. Alex is going to make move happen. We're going to try and follow Alex through and get on the brakes. That whole slight touch as we get on the brakes, and we've actually helped Alex to keep that position. That's the GT Sport way, and we're actually still compromised by drivers battling ahead, and another German McLaren has closed into us now, and we can try and follow these guys through and look for a position at the end of a straight where we can put it to the inside on the brakes. But I fear that I've got a fast McLaren behind me again, side by side for Svenny and Alex into this corner here. Surely, oh, we've been nudged to sort of the German drivers found a gap again from nowhere. I was not expecting to find a car on my inside there. Was that a block pass? Would he have made the corner if I wasn't there? I'm not entirely sure, but again, we've been mugged off again. Just the theme of the video, guys, we're getting mugged off, but Alex has missed his brake and disappeared somewhere. We'll look at that incident in a bit more detail later in the video, but all this battling is not really helping everyone's race pace. Look on the leaderboard now. Zafra is clear in second place with another fantastic drive, and the huge mistake there from Chris. McLaren's appeared next to me again, which is going to put me on the grass and leave me wide there. So that McLaren from earlier on in the race, who had absolutely no pace at all, was from nowhere come back into the mix and just put a move on me, put me on the grass and ran me wide. Wow. Okay, so here we go now, guys. Lap number 9, McLaren to the outside into turn 1, and we're going to go into a gap that doesn't exist anymore. We had to throw it onto the curb to survive that one, but our tyres are pretty much done now. So lap number 9, exiting the last corner, and the German McLaren's just going to lose it on the corner exit. Unlucky for that driver there, but it's going to leave us clear to maybe try and catch Alex and Svenny, who have just continued to battle for the whole of this race. They're about to cross the line to start the final lap. Can we gain any more positions in this race? In the braking zone into turn 1, Alex is just going to put Svenny onto the gravel, and good night. Now let's review what happened. This is the karma incident that was being referred to. So at one point Alex went so deep on the brakes there, I thought maybe he got punted on the brakes, but from what I can see, he just missed his braking point. I don't think that was part of the incident. This potentially could have been the reason. Now it looks like Alex got a bit sideways in the middle of the corner, and Svenny bumped Alex, and this then led to that move we saw at the end of the straight now. So watch how this one plays out down the main straight now. Alex is going to have the slipstream of Svenny, and he should be able to get that move. Well, we know he gets the move done by in the straight, but let's see how he gets the move done. Now Svenny's waving him by. He's on the hazards and he's just been put on. I saw, look, Svenny's on the hazards. He's suggesting that Alex retakes that, and even more when he gets off the throttle, he tries to let Alex by to repay for the error that obviously happened early on, and Alex just dumps Svenny into a whole world of pain. Now at this point, the vigilante inside me was triggered, and I tried everything I got to try and catch Alex and just put a block pass on him, and I really wanted it, guys. I wanted to be that vigilante to put the block pass on Alex and get that position back and do it for Svenny, but I ran out of tyres. ran out of talent, and that just didn't work out for me. I'm really interested in hear what you think about all of those incidents in the comments below. Share your thoughts. The next race, I made a mistake this one. I got through to pretty much the lead with a reasonably early undercut, and yeah, I got through to second place. The car in front needed to pit, so we were going to be clear. It was time to go racing. We're going to get a win. But as it plays out, bad decisions were made. So we made that move happen down the main straight now. We've got that mega McLaren behind us. I'm staying defensive, but I drift wide. I don't stay defensive enough, and the McLaren just goes to the inside. So that was a good move, to be fair. I was a bit too sloppy with my defence. I tried to fight back. It was a great drive from this French guy in the McLaren. I'm trying to fight back. He's probably got better tyres than I've got. Again, we went for quite a significant undercut with those drivers around us, and we just don't have the drive. We should just about be in the slipstream Can we send it at the end of the next straight? But just not really close enough. As we're going to approach the braking zone, I'm going to brake, I think, on my normal braking point, and then we're just going to make contact at the apex, and I'm going to force him wide. I felt really bad for this. Now, let me know what you think in the comments below. I thought I braked at my normal braking point, and for some reason I just have so much overspeed and have no choice but to just bump him wide. It isn't too bad. He doesn't go completely wide. Now, this is where I tried to repay for my mistake and become the rear gunner for that guy. I am so sorry for giving you that bump into that braking zone. I'm sure that would have compromised your race a little bit, but he's made a mistake through these series of corners, and I don't know, I feel bad for this guy. So to a certain extent, we try to defend behind us. There are a couple of drivers who, I didn't need to lose the car there. We're going to go side by side a little bit into the final corner, but he's got a big enough gap. He's 2 laps to go. Maybe he can do it. But look on the radar, we're going to get bumped all the way down this straight here. Try and defend as much as we can. We're going to get nudged to the right a little bit to open up the the inside, and we're going to get on the brakes now into the first corner, and just going to try and not allow the switchback. We're just not going to have enough tyres left to really defend that switchback, and that GTR is going to get to our inside, and they've got through and clear again with the hazards on. I don't know what it is with the Spanish and the hazards, but yeah, I tried my best to defend for that guy. I really wanted to allow him to win after my mistake, and unfortunately it didn't work out. So I said sorry after the race, but that does mean I am A and red S naughty boy. So that's going to put me and another A+ driver in the naughty boy lobby. And that French driver is going to have a really impressive qualifying time. So it's going to be a big challenge going on here. Now for this race, I'm going to switch up my strategy. Starting near the front of the grid, I'm going straight with the soft tyres. I'm going to try and make this race happen for me. Get those early laps done, build a big gap. I was assuming that the driver in first was also going to go on soft tyres, and we would race just away from the pack. But as the race started to progress, after the first couple of corners, I felt like he didn't have the pace, and pretty sure he was not on the soft tyres. So this is where I needed to take the race into my own hands and get the move done as soon as I can, and try and get the break so that when I make my pit stop, he's not going to have enough striking distance to be able to get back on me. So already we are right on the gearbox of this French driver, number one ranked driver in the lobby, and we're going to try and get a good exit out this here. Now we have got a great drive out here. We are in the slipstream. Now I want to see the space open up to the inside. We're going to go to the inside here, but that space is going to disappear. Womble Leader had an incident here. Check out his video if you're interested in that. So we're going to switch to the outside and get on the brakes late as we can, and that's not going to work. So a big switchback, trying to get into a gap that almost doesn't exist. We're going to get on the gas here with a great cutback, making the most of these soft tyres, and he's just to the inside for this next couple of corners, and he's just going to back out there. We're going to park it a little bit on this corner to make sure he can't switch back, and I think we've got that move done, guys. It's now down to us to try and break the slipstream and make the most of these soft tyres and get some fantastic fast laps. So it looks like we have broke the slipstream of the driver behind. It's now just us to focus on hitting our marks and getting those lap times. Skipping forwards now, we have been doing exactly that. Reserve driver is the fastest driver on the track right now, and this is where we're going to make our pit stop. Lap number 6, I felt the tyres were just starting to go off. So there we are, pit stop for the Race Asylum Corvette there. Out the pits now, we are looking pretty good. There's a car ahead, I think, that is yet to pit, and behind us we have a gap of around 3 seconds, and we've managed to maintain that gap to the line, guys. We're going to get a win. It was in the naughty boy lobby, but there was some strong opposition in here, and we're going to finish this video off with a win. Let me know what you think of that in the comments below. As always, I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Hit that like button, consider subscribing if you haven't already. We're at 1,900 subscribers, which is absolutely fantastic. Can we hit 2,000 before GT7 comes out? On screen right now will be links to other videos which you may find interesting. Click them, have a watch, let me know what you think, and we'll catch you in the next one.